You make and bake different things in life for different situations. Cookies are for someone you're dating. Cakes are for weddings. Cookie cakes are the universal sign of happy birthday. Or if you mess up the first two. If you mess up dating somebody or you mess up your marriage, give them a cookie cake. They'll love that. Potatoes are for funerals. Croissants are for lovers. And brownies are for the what are we's, the situationships, the booty calls. I was talking to this one guy one time. Never heard from him again. And I've seen you, and I see you around, but am I seeing you? Brownies are made just because they're so damn easy from a box. I've never seen anybody make brownies from scratch. Welcome back, and if you're new around here, hey, nice of you to pop in. It'll be chaotic. You'll want to shake your phone at sometimes. Oh, she doesn't know what salt's for. It's one of those videos. Warning, you will be just as frustrated as I will be. I don't have a situationship. I'm not trying to define anything. I'm just making them to see if I can make brownies without a recipe. It's a thing I do over here. It's kind of like Who Wants to Be a Baker, because I don't have a recipe to follow, but I do have lifelines. They include, one, I can do like a 30-second Google search of anything I want to. What is the chocolate they put in brownies? I don't know. When you get out of a box, it's just like some brown powder. Who knows what's in there? I can use a phone call. I can call my mom, who's in the other room. I can call a friend. I can call a stranger. Hello, is this Pizza Palace? Yeah. Do you guys have brownies on the menu? How are you making those? 18 cups of flour. How many do those make? Oh, you make them in bulk. Okay. No, I'm still here. Yep, it's Christine. Yeah. Another lifeline is I can just look at the ingredients. Oil, salt, cayenne pepper, whatever. I can just look at the ingredients, or I can just look at the amounts, but not together. Cup of this, a stick of that, a tablespoon of this, a pinch, a hope, and a prayer. Those are my lifelines. Let's get started. I have the recipe right here if we need to cheat. If all else fails, if I accidentally make a souffle, something crazy happens. I have it right here. Who needs a recipe when you have a full iced coffee and a hype button? As far as we know, we're making brownies today, and there's 10 ingredients. There's 10 times we could mess it up. Now, the good thing about brownies is that you're just making it in one bowl. I don't know why it's so loud. Spatula. That's not an ingredient, but we need that. Brownies. We're gonna need some sort of chocolate, or some cocoa, or some powder. Preferably chocolate cocoa powder. This one should be easy, right? Brownies, easy peasy. But when you take it from a box, you do always need an egg, right? 1 egg, 2 eggs to make brownies, and you always need a little bit of oil. So I know egg and oil is 2 of the ingredients. And chocolate. Yeah, but if we learned anything from these episodes, you're supposed to mix the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients separate. There's no way I'm gonna melt chocolate to put into it. There's just an unidentified Ziploc bag of chocolate chips. Are these rationed out just for me? Those taste semi-sweet. There's a whole thing of dark chocolate morsel. Yeah, are we really gonna melt our own chocolate? You know what? We're just gonna start with the wet ingredients because those are the ones I know. Oh. Why is there just a staple sitting on the counter? What's going on around here? I just put my hand down on a thumbtack. Yeah! You put 1 egg in brownies or 2? There's 2 left in the carton. That makes me want to use them. Then how much oil? I found a shot glass full of oil. 6 tablespoons? Oh, we had a conversion chart. 6 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons is 1/4 of a cup. We're doing a shot glass of oil, vegetable oil. A little for me, a little for you. Can you eat vegetable oil straight up? Tastes like nothing. Is that good or bad? Oh, it's only 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons? That's 1/8 of a cup. We're gonna need another one of these. Okay, 1 egg, 2 shot glasses of vegetable oil, which is 4 tablespoons, is 1/4 of a cup. This is so much easier when you got the damn box. Show me what you're working with. This is the weirdest looking egg. Look at that. Looks weird. When it's all separated out like that. They got nothing to grab onto. But the oil is rejecting it. That sounds like a metaphor for situationship. The egg's got nothing to grab onto me. Hold my hand. And the oil's going, no. My job is to separate. You text your situationship right now. You and I, we are like egg and vegetable oil. He's like, what? Like we're part of a brownie mix? You're like, no! Even though we're in the same bowl, we're trying to stay separate. That's how I feel like you treat me. What is the powder? Like, what does the powder consist of when you make brownies? You always pull the powder pack out of the box. What goes in the powder pack? You have to dissect the powder pack. Baking soda, baking powder? It's been a while since I filmed one of these. Which one does what? Baking powder double acting. Soda makes it rise, I think. Don't wear my jeans. Oh, yeah. I can't even find the baking soda. I kid you not, I go into that closet to look for baking soda, and I'm just looking at the boxes, and I start reading one of it, and it's a brownie mix. And I start reading the brownie mix box. I didn't find any information, but I was like, am I literally cheating by accident right now? I'm gonna put a little baking powder in it. That might be some of the powder. Just to say we put an ingredient in there. because you know me, sometimes I get caught up in just trying to hit the number of ingredients. We're gonna do 1/4 of a teaspoon because we're baking, and brownie mix always comes in a powder. So that makes sense to me. Boom, that's 3. Do you put water in brownies? You know I want to put water in it so bad. I think we're gonna have to use a lifeline, because I don't. Maybe put a little coffee in? A little coffee for taste. That'll add some chocolate. Oh, and a couple ice cubes. That's a little secret ingredient. If that tastes good in there, that's a little bit of Dunkin' iced coffee and an ice cube and a bunk bed. Hoo ha, hoo ha. You probably preheat the oven. What do you bake brownies on? 345? 345 degrees. 345 degrees. Doop, doop, doop. 345 degrees. 345 degrees. Doop, doop, doop. 345 degrees. This looks disgusting. You thought the oil was separating? The coffee is not trying to join the group. I feel like that's all the wet ingredients. Should I use a lifeline and call my mom and ask her what one of the dry ingredients is? She's in the other room, but I'll still call her.
Hello?
I'm already stuck.
Oh.
Can you tell me like 2 of the dry ingredients in it that I wouldn't know?
Well, there would be yeast and sugar.
Yeast and sugar. Yeast? In brownies?
Okay, sorry. Wrong recipe. Flour. You need some kind of chocolate. There's cocoa powder somewhere in that closet.
Okay, flour, cocoa powder. Thank you, bye. So I didn't need to put my iced coffee in there? Flour and cocoa powder. My name is Flour, and I'm cocoa powder. I'm gonna do 2 cups of flour, because we need some volume in this recipe. Are we like gonna run out of flour? Okay, 1 cup of flour. I might as well just pour this in here. Okay, helicopter. 1.25 cups. Too lazy to get the other flour started. 1.25 cups of flour. Remember that thing used to do, like boom snap clap boom, boom snap clap boom snap clap snap boom snap clap boom snap clap snap. Shh. Let it roll. Boom snap clap boom snap clap snap boom snap clap boom snap clap snap. Shh. Get the cocoa powder. Boom snap clap boom snap clap boom. First I was afraid, I was petrified, and I laid down and died. Oh no, not I will survive. She put it behind the noodles and a jar of almond butter. Wait, it's open. We've had cocoa powder? Someone's been in this cocoa powder. That literally smells like it comes out of the brownie mix. Okay, we're gonna need, if I put 1 cup and 1/4 of flour, we're gonna need a shit ton of cocoa powder. A little cup of cocoa powder? That makes sense to me. But if anything, it'll just be chocolatey. I don't think I've ever used cocoa powder in a recipe. Cup of that just ballooned out. Cup of cocoa powder. Going in with the cocoa. That's 5 ingredients and there's 10. I mean, ugh. Usually the box mix doesn't look this brown. It's not this concentrated of a brown. It looks more like a dusty brown. You know what I'm talking about? Oh. Look at the amount of cocoa powder on my phone. The cocoa powder and the flour ate up all the moisture. I think we're gonna have to add water. I can't think of another liquid that goes in here. This looks wrong. That smells concentrated. Okay, what would the other powders be? I'm gonna guess a little bit of salt. 4 shakes of salt. All we put in is flour and cocoa powder. We're gonna need sugar. How would it be sweet otherwise? That's a great call. That's thinking right there. Hello? Should we put 1 cup of sugar? Maybe brownies is really just 1 cup flour, 1 cup sugar, 1 cup cocoa. Maybe we don't all need to be making it from the box. Oh, jeez Louise. That's gonna get cleaned off too now. I feel like we messed up this recipe. We don't have another thing of sugar. We're gonna have to buy sugar. The cocoa even got into my height button. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 ingredients. Maybe you put like 1 cup of oil. What did I put? 1/4 cup? I don't know. I'm gonna put some water in it. I don't know how long that was. I just need it to all be a liquid in order to put it in the pan. Because right now it's just a clumpy solid. That's a subcategory of a solid. A clumpy solid. A clusterfuck of a solid. Okay. That is at least a little bit better. It looks like there's chocolate chips in here because it's so clumpy. What are these white clumps? Is that the flour or the sugar? Why did I think cocoa powder was sugar? You know how when you make brownies when it like just falls out of the bowl? I'm gonna have to give this bowl like an eviction notice. You got 30 seconds to get up on out of there and get in the pan. Bake to something edible. I'm not even stirring, I'm like chopping. I'm thinking we just need a little more oil. Oh!
Why are you the way that you are?
Like another 1/4 cup, that's like a 1/2 cup of oil. That's 8 ingredients, I need 2 more. And I might just look at the ingredients list. Not gonna lie, it's looking very number 2-ish. This looks like a turd. That's a visual representation of mush and gush. Okay, at least it's like more of a smooth consistency than it was before. We might as well look at the ingredients. I need large eggs. Eggs with a plural. So I need another egg. Why does sugar have an asterisk next to it? What does that mean? Flour, cocoa powder, sifted if lumpy, extra virgin olive oil, powdered sugar, dark chocolate chips. Stumble. And I lay down and die. Water, sea salt, and vanilla. Water? I just put regular salt. I needed vanilla. We'll do, I don't know, two of these, half a teaspoon of vanilla. We probably gotta save the flavor. These can be vanilla brownies. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Powdered sugar. This is flour, isn't it? Yes. Oh, and my mom, if you're new here, my mom puts the ingredients of how much you need in order from biggest to smallest. I needed the most of the sugar. I need less powdered sugar than I needed cocoa powder. 1/4 cup. Hello? I hate when it doesn't pour nicely. God, I put all the right ingredients besides baking powder. But it just doesn't feel right when you're putting it in. Maybe because it's not in the right order. Wow, the vanilla really turned it around. Brought it to life. Vanilla. So for everybody who's like, I only like chocolate, I don't like vanilla. There's probably vanilla in your damn brownies if you're making it from scratch. I don't know about a box mix. Wow, this looks so much better in the consistency. It doesn't look that bad. I'm looking for lumps or inconsistencies and I'm not finding them. A tale as old as time. The inconsistencies. And you have a batter and you're wondering what's the matter. It's probably the inconsistencies. This looks good. We literally turned that number 2 turd-like substance, we turned it around into a damn brownie mix. It also calls for dark chocolate chips. I don't really want to put these in here. I don't know if these need to be melted ahead of time. I don't care. Almost half a cup of dark chocolate chips. I almost looked in the oven for our pan. Why would the pan be pre-cooking in the oven? My mom and dad organized this whole kerfuffle clusterfuck of a cabinet that I always seem to fight with, and I'm still not really sure where the pan is we're looking for. I know this one goes in a metal pan. I've made brownies several times back in my day. Hey! It's probably gonna need to be organized again. Oh, we should probably oil the pan. We must oil the pan. The oil the pan. In here. I don't really want to put this on my shoulder. Damn. Look at that. And if I put, I don't know if baking powder or baking soda rises, but if I put one of them in there, this might need some room to rise. We'll just stay out of its way. See, that's the type of consistency I was telling you about. It's supposed to just fall out the bowl. God damn. Spread it there. Maybe I should have used a smaller pan. Why isn't this enough? Everybody gets settled in. This is called the settling in technique. You just kind of put it outside. Everybody will find a spot. I've been working on the rail. Why am I covered in chocolate? Voila! The brownies for your situationship. Brownies in. Brownies done. How long should we bake it? Let's go 15, because they're hella thin. Let's go 13. Let's go 14, because that's what it landed on. Everybody clean up. This has 30 seconds left on it. Still so liquidy. So I'm going to crank up the heat. So much paperwork over here. I put it on 345. I'll crank it up to 400 and just keep an eye on it. Yeah, they're still so liquidy, and I think it's a little too big of a pan. So like the ends are kind of cooking faster than the middle. I gotta stop opening the oven. That's what I gotta do. It smells pretty good. I don't know, can something smell too chocolatey? Maybe you put too much cocoa powder in it. Maybe you went crazy with the power of the cocoa powder. We'll find out in a minute. The trick with brownies, a trick as old as time. Boom, 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 boom. You stick a toothpick in the center of your brownies. If it comes up clean, that means the brownies have cooked evenly through. Because the ends usually cook faster, the middle usually cooks the last. Now, why do I know that? But I don't know how to make anything. I know how to check when something's done, because I'm an eater. I'm a consumer. I'll know when it's done, because then I can start eating it. As soon as I went to take this out, that camera battery died. That's called sabotage, bitch. Looks pretty good. It even might be burning on the side. Oh, that looks fantastic. I probably shouldn't flop it down. That looks fantastic. Big old crack in the side now. Oh, look at that come out clean. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Looks alone, from the pan, bird's eye view, passing by at the bake sale. Want to cut me off a square of that? 8.5 out of 10. You should probably let it sit and cool for a while. I mean, how hot is the pan? Okay. I'll be back. Okay, I let this sit for 20 minutes. And we're gonna try it. It looks okay. Still hot on the bottom. I can probably cut into it. It's cutting well. Now, this is not your normal boxed brownie. It's not gonna taste like it came from a box. It's gonna taste more unique, more homemade. These are so thin. Look at these. Now, now that's a thin brownie. Let's try it. Smells chocolatey. No, you couldn't have made this from a box. This tastes like a box. It tastes a little sour. The texture on my mouth tastes like how a dryer sheet feels in between your fingers. It tastes stale, and I literally just made it. It's the type of brownie that makes you thirsty. If you need to get your daily water intake, make yourself some of these, and you'll be chugging water. Yeah, no, give these to your situationship. If you want them to disappear out of your life, off the face of the planet, this might be the cause of death. The police are like, man, did you poison the brownies? No, I made those without a recipe. I don't know if it's like the cocoa powder or the dark chocolate making it like so sour. Even without the chocolate chips, I feel like the cocoa powder is like overwhelming. Let's look at what I did wrong. You needed 2 large eggs. I did that. You needed 1.5 cups of sugar. I used 1 cup of sugar, so it could be sweeter. 3/4 of a cup of flour. I used 1 1/4 cups. I needed 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, and I used 1 cup of cocoa powder, so too much cocoa. I needed 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I used 1/2 cup. See, when we put that extra 1/4 cup in, that's what saved us. The extra egg saved us. 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. I don't know how much powdered sugar I put in. We'll see when I edit. 2 tablespoons of water. That's probably how much water I did put in. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I did 1 full teaspoon of vanilla. Can't even taste it. Did nothing. Here's the date. Is this the recipe? Best homemade brownies is what the recipe's called. So I used too much flour, not enough sugar. But that can't be the only thing. Supposed to preheat the oven at 325. I have baked it on 345 and then at 400. Bake for 40 minutes? Well, I cranked mine up and baked it for 20. I don't think baking it for the right amount of time would have worked. If you bake something and if you were eating it in front of someone else, you would have to excuse yourself to the next room to do this. Because it's so gummy and stuck in your teeth. That's not a good recipe. It did not turn out well. I don't know a single thing that you would bake or make. The top side effect of the recipe is like, oh my gosh, and then you'll just be picking it out of your teeth for weeks. Isn't that great? I'll call it my flavor saver brownies because it'll get stuck in your teeth. I really thought I saved it at the end there. And I put baking powder in here, 1/4 teaspoon. Do we really think the baking powder is what messed it up? Who knows? What happens to a recipe when you add baking powder and it's not needed? Typically, baking powder is called in recipes that do not otherwise have an acidic ingredient. Baking powder creates air bubbles that give your baked goods light, airy texture. I think it sucked the moisture right out of these. They're already thin. Wait, I found what it was. Does baking powder affect flavor? Baking powder contains a small amount of alkaline, sounds like a poison, which can react with cocoa powder in the brownie batter and create a bitter taste. And that's what happened. These are bitter brownies. These are the post-breakup brownies. When you go to his house to pick up your box of stuff, this t-shirt, my barrette, my old scrunchie, you're like, hey, I made you brownies. And you made him the bitter breakup brownies. That's what I'm calling these. The bitter breakup brownies. Just like you can't seem to get out of my hair and out of my life, these are going to be stuck in your teeth for weeks. That makes sense. I'm going to call this one a fail then. All because of the baking powder. But I tried. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time on Christine Takes a Very Good Recipe and Makes It Bitter. And by process, she herself becomes bitter. Sounds like a Shakespeare play to me. Well, I guess you'd say, what makes my brownies taste this way? Baking powder. I didn't forget nothing.
Oh, too much of something? Very chocolatey. Forget egg?
No, I didn't forget anything.
They're okay. They're not terrible.
Okay,
These
are for you.
Big after you've cut them up.
Why would I ever make my own brownies? Why would you not use a brownie box mix?
Because you don't have one in the house.
I don't have all the 10 other. I don't have one of my own. That much cocoa powder sitting around.
No.
We will forever be.
That cocoa powder is just for making hot
We
chocolate.
will forever be boxed brownie makers. Unless I need to get some anger out. The light from outside with the snow is like blasting the light. Wow, we are way too up close and personal. Hello! Look like a thumb. Hold your thumb up like this. Do I look like a thumb?